Gabriel turned down the lantern in the entryway until darkness bathed everything around him. His eyes passed over the open window and saw that the snow had stopped falling. Gabriel made his way up the stairs, and the dark hallway welcomed him. He hesitated a moment in indecision, and then turned right toward the rooms at the opposite end of the hall. It astounded him that a woman should frighten him more than any stampeding herd or wild mustang. He heard movement coming from the other side of the door, so he knocked softly. It took a few minutes before she answered his knock. The door opened only slightly, and Gabriel saw why. Isabelle was dressed for bed, and more than likely had taken the time to put on a robe. He wouldn't have minded it without it. "Gabriel." She lowered her voice as she glanced around to see down the hallway. "No one else is here." "We weren't expecting you until morning." Isabelle stepped aside to let him in the room. Gabriel hesitated only a moment before he entered. Considering how he currently felt, he should have walked away, but he didn't want to stay away any longer. "How's Andrew?" Gabriel watched Isabelle's face soften. "He's going to be fine. He's a stronger child than I gave him credit for." Isabelle then caught sight of the dark stain on Gabriel's arm. "What happened?" She reached out to finger the fabric. Her fingers came away with splotches of dark red. "Just a little trouble in town." Gabriel pulled the fabric away from his arm. "The doc patched it up, but we had a rough ride back." Isabelle took his good arm, led him toward the bed, and told him to sit down. Bemused, Gabriel did what she said, and watched as she gathered up her wash basin and a towel from the bureau. "You'll need to remove your shirt so I can get to the wound." Gabriel continued to study Isabelle as she moved around the room gathering a few more items. He told himself he'd tell her about the letter after she'd finished doing whatever doctoring she was determined to perform on his arm. Gabriel removed his shirt, and it reminded him just how much a bullet graze stings. Isabelle stopped as she turned to Gabriel after he removed his shirt. His solid torso was more than what she'd imagined. She now understood the strength she'd seen him expend. His body spoke of many years of hard work. It also stirred up a new set of feelings inside her, feelings she did her best to set aside. She carefully cut away the soiled bandage and tenderly pulled it from around Gabriel's arm. She looked closely and saw that while it wasn't a deep wound, it should have been stitched. She didn't have much experience with wounds, but she'd been present when her father suffered a bad riding accident. He had landed on a fence post. The resulting wound to his side hadn't been deep, but the doctor had stitched it to prevent continued bleeding. "This should have been stitched. It's not that bad." She paused with a cleaning of the wound to see if he meant that. "I wasn't willing to wait for stitches." "Well, your dog didn't do you any favors by letting you leave with just a bandage." "I don't have a lot of patience for people doctoring me," Gabriel said, and thought to add, "until now." He smiled at her. "Do whatever you want with the wound. I'll stay still for you." Isabelle went back to her ministrations and did her best to ignore the tug in her heart. If Gabriel wasn't saying something to make her smile, he was making her cry with joy for how he treated her brother, or scaring the very heart from her body for how strongly he made her feel about him. If ever there was a man who'd she be willing to risk everything on, it would be Gabriel Gallagher.